In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smiling. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka welcome to another edition of the Morning Mac Show. Today is Monday Madness. Yes. Today is May the 8th, 2023. And honey, I am in the studio with my super producer as always, and I want to thank you so much, Mr. Molly Mall, for doing what you're doing and rocking and rolling and banging with me. Thank you. Much love to you, to my baby brother Molly Mall. Okay, right. Where's my book? Shades of Blue. This Monday Madness. But if y'all haven't gotten this book yet, it's still available. Go get it, check it out. And it's even marked down on sale at some places. You can go to Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, and order it. It's all over the place. So a lot of people has been coming up to me lately asking for that second book. Y'all hold tight. I'm not quite finished with it. I'm in the midst of making some changes and then doing some things a little differently, but I'm trying to have it out to y'all as promised by the end of this year. That's the second book for Shades of Blue. It's called Indigo, A Much Deeper Blue. Okay. And also I want to mention some upcoming shows and events that I have. May the 19th, get your tickets now while it's still available because it's limited seating in this venue. I think it's at Eventbrite. Body Oasis, Comedy Cuts and Curls. I'm gonna have the thing up for you guys later so y'all can look in and see what's going on with that. But yeah, this is what I want to talk about today. It's something that, it's breaking news, but it's something that bothers me, and why do we let stuff like this go on? Why do we perpetuate that instead of getting in and diffusing? We all running and buzz, gossip, just like when Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now they got Usher and Chris Brown together. They're beefing against each other. Allegedly, this is allegedly, sources say that Usher for Friends tour, Usher Friends tour, they had altercation between Chris Brown and Usher, right? And they said Chris got a little violent, and went there with Usher. They got a little scuffle, little altercation. But why are we, Chris, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you fighting everybody, first of all? You got to take some anger management classes, boo. Or I tell you what, get in the ring and become an MMA You can get in the ring, take out your aggressions and all of that good stuff, and you'll feel better about yourself at the end without any bodyguards, without attacking your friends, because you probably on something and some emotional baggage or something lingering. You know, when we have emotional stuff going on, we lash out to the people that's close to us, not meaning to do so, but that's what we do. How did they say hurting people hurt? No, hurting people hurt the people that's closest to them. That's what they do, and we just gotta stop that, because what message are you sending to the youth? If you have a problem with somebody, you put your hands on them or you shoot them or whatever. I am getting so tired of turning on the news and somebody done shot somebody. Just over the weekend, there were 2 shootings at the mall, and my son was directly impacted by one of the shootings because he works at St. Charles Mall, and they down there in the mall shooting like a nut roll because these people, they said youth, but I don't know what age are they saying with the youth? Are they teenagers or what? But teenagers going around carrying guns like they Tic Tacs. They going around carrying guns like that, packed like that. What? They get into altercation in the mall, pow, pow, pow. Bullets don't care who they hit. Stray bullet don't have no name on it. We got to control our temper. We got to control our aggression, especially to one another. Don't y'all know that's all part of this unique, vast plan that they have against us? When are we going to wake up and realize that? When are we going to realize that? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to bury my friends, my family, my loved ones, you know, because of gun violence. It's just sad. And it gets on my nerve. I mean, it sickens me. So this is Monday Madness. This is where I express the stuff that's grinding my gears, the stuff that I feel impacted by, you know. And for example, I'm going to share this with y'all too. Y'all know about, they caught 2 12-year-old boys, separate incidents, but these 2 separate individual boys, they wasn't committing crimes together, but they caught 2 12-year-old. A set of boys over here, 12-year-old gets snatched. Set of boys doing stuff over there, 12-year-old gets snatched. It's with the carjackings and the robberies and gunpoint jacking people. Like I said, are these young people walking around with guns like they pairs? Remember the little pairs we used to get with a little animal head or our character head, and we get out of pairs? We used to, every kid used to always have a little pairs, whatever they did, Minnie Mouse pairs, Mickey Mouse pairs, Donald Duck pair, whatever your favorite thing was. Are guns replacing that in our society for our young individuals? That I can't tell you. And everybody keeps saying, well, one of my posts that I saw, they said, where's the parents? Where is the parents? Is it that way because of stuff gone high? Is it that, oh my goodness, what is wrong? Is it that way because stuff is high? Let me make sure I got my stuff plugged up in here. Is it that way because everything is gone high? Is it that way, you know, because of that? It's hard to make ends meet now that you got your 12-year-old out here gang banging, slanging, robbing, carjacking people to help mama make ends meet? Or is it that these just little young 12-year-old, the ones that I be saying, they so mannish, that the 12-year-old are trying to act like men. They emulate what they see off of TV. You know, when they see Chris Brown and Usher beefing, these people with money, rich people. Why you got to come to blows and lay hands? If the rich people fighting each other, Chris Rock, Will Smith, resorting to violence, what you think the poor people going to do? Or the people that's less fortunate? Y'all supposed to be setting an example to say, well, you made it, that mentality changed. You don't have to carry that aggression or whatever on you like that. But no, no, no. There's a clip I got, right? I want to share it with y'all from Judge Toler. Y'all know Lynn Toler? Beautiful lady. Watch this clip, y'all.
My first brother in jail in 1994. He didn't mind going to jail. He would say, Judge, why are you bothering me? I can go to jail. Just go ahead and do it. I don't want to deal with your probation conditions and your anger management. And I'm not going to talk to the guy that I hit and resolve it so I can not go to jail. I'll just do the year. We used to pick cotton. Now we are the cotton. We are the product in the system, in the paid prisons that they make money off of. And they count on you guys not being able to handle your emotions. So you go. Not over millions of dollars, not over the health and welfare of your wife and children. Some words. Every brother I sent to prison didn't know what the fight was about. All he knew is how he felt about it. I am my ego. I can't take that. I can't be disrespected. I need you to sit whatever nonsense happened today down, because it matters to me what happens to my people. I put my first brother in jail in 1994.
1994, sent the first black man to jail. She put her because of a fight. They don't even know why. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. And let me give y'all some statistics that you may not even know of about your government. Okay, about how much you're worth. You're worth $39,158 because that's how much the government pays to keep your butt incarcerated a year. 39,000 and some change. Most of us don't even make that out here on the street. If you're a federal prison institution, that's 150. Sorry, that's 120 a day. If you are a private ran institution, you could get up to 150 a day. The government pays that to keep your dumb butt locked up. Yeah, I called you dumb. Yeah, I called you stupid. Because when you got to resort to violence because you cannot talk it out or figure another way to keep your ignorant butt from getting locked up, because you can't stop taking somebody's lives, or you can't stop gangbanging or hurting or killing or hurting each other. Y'all are part of the assignment, the agenda, mass incarceration. Did you hear Judge Lynn say we used to pick cotton? Now you are the cotton. You are the cotton. Because you can't control your what? Your anger. You can't control your feelings. You got to resort to violence. Don't get me wrong. I know it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes the willingness to want to change the narrative to even do that. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Everything is falling down. That's because I'm saying something powerful, and the enemy don't want y'all to hear this. The enemy don't want y'all to hear this, but I want you to hear it because
it's all right.
Hey, Trey.
Hey, I was in here. I was just listening to what you were saying. I was just let you speak your piece.
My little songbird done snuck in on me. I didn't even know he was in this. I was going off this morning, but
I consider it truthful. I don't really consider it going off. I mean, you're saying what needs to be said, and that's all. I was just letting you speak your piece for real, because people need to hear it. It's a lot of conversations is going around me about that. Just this morning, actually. So I think you're saying what needs to be said. You know, like I told you before, every subject that we discuss, everything you bring up is not always going to be comedic. It's not always are not always going to be something to laugh about. Everyone might not always want to chime in. There might not always be something to say. Like I told you before, sometimes you have things that you bring up that are just informal and just are for you to listen, and that's what I was doing. So I didn't sneak in necessarily, but I was just letting you speak your piece.
You know, I can't see the thing. You gotta let me. I can't even find my phone now. I don't. I was on such a. I just felt like it needs to be said, and it touched me because we can't control ourselves. We can't control our anger. Starting with Usher and Chris Brown, 2 mega millionaires fighting.
Oh yeah, I seen a thumbnail on YouTube about it. I didn't look into it because I'm like, you just got away from some other. Both of y'all just got away from other previous scandals, so it's like, I don't know if this is PR. I don't know if y'all gonna, drop a song soon or drop a project. But every time something stupid goes on in the media, it seems like someone has a project behind it or a book they about to sell or something. So I didn't even check into it. I'm not even gonna lie. Didn't even look at it. Thumbed right over it. What do you know about the situation? If we can recap, because I heard you talking about it a little bit when I was in here. But what
the recap was when Usher did his Friends and Stuff tour. I think that was this weekend. Usher and Friends tour in Las Vegas. Usher got a resident in Las Vegas. Let me get that out there first. But his Friends and tours, that's separate. Usher got a resident out in MGM in Las Vegas. He'll be there from, I forgot the dates. But anyway, he also doing a Usher and Friends, meaning he got all of these people come out there, Missy Elliott, the Brad, all of these other celebrities that said Usher and Friends. I don't know if everybody performing on each show with them, but there's a list that they're touring, right? Chris Brown was there. They said Chris Brown that got into an altercation or had some words with a female. Usher tries to approach Chris about, calm down, because Usher got his daughter there. So a minor on board. So it says that Usher, Chris has some words. Chris goes outside. Usher follows Chris. This is all allegedly, people. They said they go behind the buses and stuff, the tour buses. And then they said that Usher comes back with a bloody nose. They said just last night, them two was on stage performing together. Neither one of them addressed the situation. Hopefully the conflict is resolved and they got some type of resolution. This is all allegedly. But when you see two musical icons like those 2 millionaires and they cannot handle their aggression no other way than lay hands, then you get back to our youth. If the rich people fighting, what you think the less fortunate going to be doing? You know what I mean? They're going to be throwing hands. And it comes up from them shooting over the weekend in the malls, youngins. The one down in, I think it was Texas, and the one down here in Waldorf in our own backyard. Gang of people get mad, can't control their anger. I'm going to shoot you up, Trey. Pow, pow, pow. I don't like what you said to me. Pow, pow. You said what? Good day. Nobody
fights anymore. That's why I don't want to get in an altercation with nobody in today's time, because nobody's trying to. if you whip somebody's ass, if I kick your ass, then you're gonna want to come back and shoot me because you feel embarrassed. Instead of us fighting again, instead of us squaring up once more, you try to get you one in. You're gonna try to shoot me. Trust me, I know a lot of young dudes around here that they definitely are carrying. Y'all are definitely holding. It's a whole different ball game because I've never seen people so young, like just so quick to be ready to like take somebody's life and to completely dismiss it as valuable. Like they don't even. They're so pumped up by this music, by these certain celebrities and certain music artists that they're navigating real low. It's a real low energy that people are carrying now. But this drill music, this rap music, a lot of these artists are ready to stop doing what they're doing, but they're so caught up in what they're told they're supposed to be doing that what their agenda is supposed to be, that they can't really break away from what they got into.
So the agenda is for the mass destruction and the killing of our people, like what's happening, what's going on. And I got some statistics that now this is how everything ties together. Everybody violent, everybody toting and stuff. Back in my day when I was younger coming up, and my brother DJ Slicky Woo Boo always says this, back in the day, either one or two things happen when you got an altercation or a beef. Wait a minute, am I still broadcasting?
Yes, you're still live.
Okay.
I'm watching you. I see you.
So one or two things can happen. Either you whip ass or get your ass whipped, right? That was back in the day. You either whip ass or get your ass whipped. Now they're making it permanent where you ain't gonna whip, you either get your ass shot and you did, and that's it. No more to the story. Because they're a bunch of chickens. Everybody's scared of getting hit, that they rather shoot a bullet than take a punch.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and it's ridiculous, because here's the thing: when we fight and you calm down, you can make up later. But when you fight and you kill somebody or take a life, that's the wrap for you, and you turn into cotton. Thank you for being cotton for these prisons and institutions. Like I said, you go to jail, you get a name and a number, and you're gonna get 30. The government pays them to keep you off the street, $39,000. That's between $120 and $150 a day. You wasn't making that a day. They wouldn't know. You didn't even have a job making that, but the government gonna pay these institutions to keep your ass off the streets. You better wake up, young man. There's over what's the word? Over 2 million people incarcerated in jail. And the black rate is 5 times the white rate. Think about what I just said. 2 million people. And it's 5 times more black people than it is white people. I looked up the statistics. I got the numbers here. And it's ridiculous how many prisons there is. It's ridiculous. You know.
It's our status is why they're killing us.
Who said that that's our status?
No, I'm sorry. I was reading from what Malik had said. He was saying my screen keeps jumping around.
I know my
it's our status is why they're still killing us. Kenneth said, what's up, Kenneth? Kenneth said, we need self-love first before we can love our brothers and sisters. Yeah, so self-care, self-love, yeah. You can't give nobody nothing if you can't give yourself something. So I definitely understand that. That's
self-love. We need to wake up. We need the self-maintenance.
Kill or be killed now.
On that anger. It's sad. Like my granddad used to say, it's a sin and a shame. A damn sin and a shame. 12-year-old babies walking around with guns, toting, and shooting like they know what they're doing. And that's the society we in. That's where we at now. That's where we at. I never gave my nephews and my cousins guns to play with. No water guns. No, nothing. I take it back. They had a super soaker. I did get a kid super soaker and bubbles. But the cap guns or the toy guns.
Things look like water guns. Those things look like what you took out to have fun. Not these aerosol guns. And I know people personally over the last couple months, mind you, someone got caught up with an aerosol gun trying to perpetrate as if it was a real one. So I know what they're doing. If an adult can do this, imagine what your child is trying to do because of what they seen, from their local, or their favorite rapper. I can't imagine.
So when you younger than me, Trey, you got some years on me. And when you look back and look at the youngins that's from since you've been grown, you know what I mean? Look at the people, how they carried back when you was 12 versus the 12 now. What are your thoughts?
In general, like are different age ranges or just the young ones at my age, like as I was growing up?
Look, compare how you was growing up at 12 versus what you see how the 12-year-olds are nowadays. And how they act and everything.
Well, I'll try to compare it to like what I would see around me at a certain age, but I know what I wasn't dealing with and what I didn't surround myself with. If I'm looking like online, I guess, I mean, certain things like Twitter, Facebook, and all that started to come to the forefront. They exposed that more. So now you kind of see it. If you're not around it, you see it. But also these artists, which are the influences of these younger generations, they weren't talking the same. The energy they was giving out and that they was putting out wasn't the same. They might have still been talking about selling this or going around the corner and doing that or shooting and killing, but it wasn't delivered the same way for these kids to be on this mission to take from the next person or to kill somebody in your neighborhood because you got a problem with them. My generation, I was in that range where we didn't catch all that. People were still rapping about having to be out in the streets and the street life and all that, but it was more Nas and more people. So they on some whole other stuff now. So I can't even compare that to my time because they wasn't doing that. You had your ass in the house at a certain time. You was in the house. I wasn't old enough to be in the house when the street lights came on and all that, but I still had my ass in the house by a certain time. You weren't just lollygagging and being out nowhere, just hanging out. So I wasn't raised on that anyway. But I know that these kids are pump faking and perpetrating like no other. I know nobody wants to get hit. Everybody is afraid to get hit, and you're afraid to walk around with a black eye for a couple of days and look like you was somebody possibly beat you down. But it's I don't know. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I don't really know how to compare that time to my time because it wasn't. That's not the same thing.
I sent Slicky Woo Boo to show he gonna be trying to fuss and fight with me. Sorry, oops, I did it again. I had to get that out for he could start cussing me out because he can't control his temper, his mouth. He don't want to. A DJ Slicky Woo Boo, but I get that. So back when you was coming up, so y'all didn't want to get hit either, walk around with a black eye. But now, so they carry guns, so they ain't getting hit.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate. You tried to slide that one in real quick, but that's not accurate.
Say come back. Say again, baby. So
I said that wasn't accurate. You just said that.
I was saying when you was coming up, y'all didn't want to get hit. You didn't want to walk around with a black eye. You said no.
No, I'm 29. That's almost 30 years ago.
No, when you 12. Talking about 12. We talking about the mind of a 12-year-old.
We did fight. I didn't have a situation where I necessarily got in a fight with nobody, but we definitely
stop playing with our generation like that, Reese, man. We want no stuff.
We wasn't pulling out guns trying to shoot nobody. We was going to meet you outside.
I'm about to show you what we was doing around our time, Reese.
Yeah,
this is what we was doing in the 90s, man. We was out there fixing bikes, slap fight, boxing and all that. We'll put a video up, though. This joint's fun.
I can't see.
I know that's right. Outside, where's the chalk on the sidewalk? Where's the girls doing jump rope? You don't see nobody walking the basketball court.
I don't see y'all at the park no more. I don't see y'all roller skating. I don't see nobody playing volleyball.
Man, your bike slow as hell. Somebody stealing your bike. Somebody stealing your bike, bro. Somebody stealing your bike.
I know. I got my scooter stuff.
What, boy?
Let us in.
No, you're not gonna keep running in and out my house. I already told you in or out.
God, you never let us in the house.
You can use the bathroom or get some water, but that was it.
Mm-hmm.
If you wasn't drinking out of a water hose or something back then, to be honest. It was a little different back then. But we was not trying to shoot nobody. We was not. No, that's just, no. 10 years.
We did the same thing. That's what we did. The same thing we did.
I don't know what they're doing now. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to understand where all this, like, shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, excuse my language, is coming from. That's what I don't understand about this era.
It's part of the agenda. It's social media and it's video games. They are desensitizing our children where when you hear stuff or say stuff, it's no big deal. Or to shoot a gun, because you're shooting it all day in the video games. You running up to each other, pow, pow, pow in the video game. And people sometimes get lost and get confused. I had a girlfriend her son wanted his head cut like damn it, Sonic. Now, Sonic is the cartoon character, a hedgehog. He was like, I want to be Sonic. Year before that, he wanted a mullet, like the WWE. One of them wrestler people has a mullet, and I was like, baby, you black, you can't get a mullet. You can't get a mullet. He wanted a blonde, but you know, they watch what they see on TV, and they emulate it nowadays. See, back when I was coming up, when we know a cartoon was a cartoon. We know Bugs Bunny drop an anvil on somebody's head. We know if you do that in real life, you did. We do, you know. But
so can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's video games that be having people like thinking the way they do, like the kids and stuff? You think it's the video games that be? Because I've watched people talk about that, and I always wondered. Like, I like getting different opinions on that because, you know, people say you be influenced by, like, you know, video games really make you, you know, put you in that.
We're influenced now a lot by technology. The fact that you not only got your video games, you got your social medias, you got your cell phone, you got all of that is hooked together. We're influenced by technology. Everything is right here. And yes, video games is one. Because I seen it. I seen kids that just don't want to go outside. You don't want to play. You don't want to be around other people, except for your boys that you're playing with on your game.
Good morning, Miss Kim.
You know, I actually see. I was sending the stuff off. Sometimes Facebook don't send it out. Facebook says it fails. Sent notification, fail. I don't know if I'm saying something wrong or whatever, but that's what.
Nah, it's our people. That's what I'm saying. It's some of our people because I see the same names. As soon as you get a text message, I get one too. That's all I'm saying because I know who it is. But yeah.
But yeah, it's video games. It's part of it. The video games, social media, our sphere of influence, and it's the rappers, it's the entertainers. It's all dealing with entertainment. Whether you seeing some entertainment, whether you hearing some entertainment. Whether you playing some entertainment, it's a form of entertainment that we have entertaining our children. Nowadays, people let video games babysit their child. They let the TV or the internet babysit your child, and that's very dangerous. Dangerous. Anything done in excess is dangerous. They on that computer, that's dangerous. Anybody could get a hold of them. Anybody could get their information. Anybody could do, you know, and it's targeted, and people can tag you and see where you are on your phone. You are there. Hey. It's locators on these devices. I didn't know, but I found out because each month Google tells me where I've been. I'm like, how the hell? They know I was at Farouz Lounge last Monday, and they keep track of that.
Well, that's them. Yeah, that's them. I'll help you with that because a lot of that stuff, even though they could still do things obviously without your permission, without you approving, a lot of that stuff people don't read when you download. And next time, actually, that's a tip for anybody that's viewing. When you download an app, read what it's asking you for permission for, because I'm reading certain things like a notepad thing I'm putting on my phone. If I'm putting a notepad on my phone, why are you asking for my mic, access to my microphone, my contacts? You want to know like certain personal information about me? We got to start reading into what we're approving on these phones, because if you don't approve it and you don't agree to it, you ain't going to be able to use their app. So we give a lot of that access too is a problem.
And that's part of us being on the grid. Everybody's on the grid. We plugged in on the grid. You know, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing in case something happens, but it's a bad thing when the government try to invade your privacy, because you do got rights.
Ms. Latrice said, I'm sorry, not cutting you off. Ms. Latrice asked you. I'm sorry, y'all, for getting lost in the comments. Because it's a lot of comments that's jumping. But Miss Latrice said, "Do you keep your location on your phone? Because that's one of the problems too. Turn your location off, like Miss Kim said on the other line over here.
But the location is fine. It's on. I'm just using it for me. For me, because if something happens to me, did y'all see that just go out? Did that just go black?
No, on my screen I can see you clearly. So even if you seeing black on your screen, just keep talking as you are, because I can see you just fine.
Okay, thank you. If something happens to me, and y'all need to know where to find the body.
But your phone is going to do that regardless. That's for permissions for apps and stuff like that. Like your Google you can tell Google to not document what you're taking pictures of and giving locations, because it'll be timestamped with the city and stuff. If I took a picture in Canada or whatever, Niagara Falls, it's going to say I was in Niagara Falls, Canada at such and such time on date. I don't want all that on my phone. We giving our phones and stuff too much permission. All this Alexa and all this smart this and everything listening to you.
Good morning. I was talking about incarceration, and I'm glad you on. I gotta send you the link because I want you to come in the comment and tell people about Black Broadway. They got to know about Black Broadway. So I could send you the link. You could come on the show, or tell me when you want to come on the show so you can talk about what you got going on and everything. That's my brother in comedy, Mr. Joe Jackson. I think that's the one. Joe Jackson is a common name, ain't it? I hope it's that Joe Jackson, the comedian Joe Jackson, the thespian Joe Jackson, because he was in The Wiz, the play. They bring in Black.
Dude, I know The Wiz. We all kind of raised on The Wiz. Shoot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think, and Joe, you got to tell them. Yeah, am I talking to the right Joe? Let us know. That did say Joe Jackson, didn't it?
Let's see.
Did they say? Is that what that said? That's the name, right? Yeah.
I don't know what Slicky Woo Woo talking about. I think the last comment. Joe, yeah, he said that's me.
Okay, yeah, okay. The thespian. I love it when I see our people. I feel elevated when my people do stuff good and they up there, they showing the world what you got. When I see other comedians perform, I like sitting in the audience laughing at other comedians. I like watching us. Is that weird?
No, I don't think so at all.
I mean, but I get excited.
Yeah, we love you comedians. I got another clip for y'all though, for you start talking about comedy. We know how y'all giving it kind of calm. I want y'all thoughts on this. They did a new studies on, they say Black fathers ain't never in the house, they don't grow up with their kids. Now there's a new study found out that it's majority the Black races, or Black men, white men, Chinese men, it's more Black men in the house with their kids and raising their kids than any other race. The same people who gave y'all the other study. So this Oprah, she did her own study. Y'all love Oprah. Y'all watched her since y'all was young. Like, well, I know I did. Y'all probably was still a little older, but just check her out here, what she said, and they new studies and what y'all think.
This landmark study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
My thoughts on that, Reese J.
Well, let me tell you, I got two thoughts. Can I break it down in two ways?
Mm-hmm.
The absent, my granddad, my mom was so young when she had me. My grandparents raised me. So my granddaddy was the adult in the house, because my dad was young and he was a teenager. Him and my mom was teenagers. So I was raised, I had a father in my house. My granddad was the father. He was everybody's father. And Trey, did you have a father growing up? Molly, was your father there growing up?
Nah, that ain't a question. That you flipped it to a question. The whole thing was the results. How you feel about that? They've been lying, saying the real father, not the grandfather, the stepfather. The real father is actually in the kids. Like that don't mean it's for us or you. It might happen different for you, but majority, it's more black men actually in their kids' life, actually in the house with their kids than any other race. How do you feel about knowing that? And nothing personal. How you feel about us as a whole, black men actually in the house with their kids?
I kind of already knew that. Well, from our group growing up, everybody, their dad was dead, so I didn't never believe that. Anyway, growing up in our era, it was different. Now when I had my son, I see a lot of the younger ones. My son is 30, so a lot him and his friends and all of his friends didn't grow up with no father in the house. My friends, we had the daddies in the house. My son's generation, a lot of them, most of all of his friends, father was not there. So I'm seeing change. I'm seeing, the cuff. But what Oprah said at the time of that, that was years ago. That was probably accurate and true at that time.
So you believe her? Cassandra said she think this statement is true. Tree said, I've seen more single fathers in Ohio area since I've been living in Ohio. Oh, that's Canton, Ohio, too. What's your thoughts on it, Trey? You think it's more black fathers in the house than they actually been saying? You think these new studies are true?
What year did they do them studies? But it's true.
I don't know. I just took Oprah word. Normally when Oprah says something, nobody asks what years or anything else. Normally they take her word. I'm just taking her word. I just think that, they won't go on national TV and say
phones are there. I'm jumping back into the studio.
I don't know. I don't know what year. I know before that they were saying that we wasn't in the houses and black fathers was the worst out of any other race. Like we didn't take care of our kids in or out the house. Majority of them was incarcerated, I believe at the time. And now that a lot of us home, a lot of us don't go to prison as much as they did before for little crimes, like the little petty crimes. Nowadays, people going to jail for a long time for crimes they commit, like murder or something crazy. But back then, they was doing time for like 20 years for a dime bag,
A bag of weed, yeah.
That's tough. Oh, Trey, leave out and come back in.
But that's all a part of the agenda. And I do believe you. And the same people who said black fathers wasn't in the home is the same people who put all the other stereotypes out there. That's just a stereotype, like just saying we don't have black fathers in our household, in our community, is the same saying that all black people like fried chicken and watermelon.
Yeah.
It's one of it's one of those things.
Yeah, and you'll hear black people saying, well, we love chicken. We eat chicken, watermelon. We don't eat this white people shit.
Well, I know some people that don't like chicken and watermelon. Not everybody, the same people who put those stereotypes out against us. They say, oh, black people are lazy. Black people are this, black people are that. Black people ain't got their fathers in the house. And they give that as the reason why. That's why they this. It's all part of the agenda. It's propaganda. For one, it is perpetuating the stereotype. And then when your white friends come around, they say, oh, you do got a daddy. How you think I got here? I ain't no damn tattoo, baby.
I got a white friend over that out Arizona. His name Wayne over that. And he got brother Sean. It's a couple of them. And I was friends with them for about 8 months before I actually met his father. I ain't never see his father. I go over his house. I never seen him. We be in there all day. I knew his father lived there. Just I never seen him because he was always out doing something or working. Then one day he came to the house and I met his father. And his father's, was a cool dude. And I was just like, nice to meet you. And I kept it moving. Everybody in the house is looking like, that's it? Like, you don't know who the fuck his father is? And I'm like, nah, shit, I know. And they just like, you don't know who Wayne Gretzky is? I said, nah, I never heard of Wayne Gretzky. Everybody was laughing me out. They said, call anybody in your phone. I said, well, most of my people's black. They ain't gonna know him. They said, call anybody in your phone. I called my cousin Reg. I said, I'm right here with my buddy, on FaceTime. I said, do you know what Wayne Gretzky? Man, they went off. That's the best hockey player in the world. And I put him on camera. They was like, oh, that's Wayne Gretzky. And I was like, I ain't never know that. You know, like I never knew who this dude father was. I can care less who his father was. And I didn't know who Wayne Gretzky was. Even when they was telling me, I looked him up, found out who he was. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, but it's crazy that, you know, you never know who you might be talking to or who. But he didn't have the relationship that I had with my father. My father, not Wayne Gretzky, but I talked to him a lot. We got a tight relationship. You can see the love there with him. It's like he barely see him, you know. He in his father's shadow most of the time. Everywhere he go, they think of, and now it makes sense everywhere we go why they just didn't want him to pay for shit, like, you know. But I was just like, it don't always work out like that, you know. He had a father, but his father ain't really had the time for him, so it was crazy, you know. So it ain't always good to have a famous father for most people.
You don't have to be there
Straight
in the
back.
household with him.
Yeah, it got. I pressed the wrong button and tried to come in and
But
start.
you was ducking that father situation, man. I didn't know if I touched a button or something. They don't hit you a little. They ain't sensitive about pops, is you, man?
Nah, because you, Nene, Rico, and I having a meeting this evening with him anyway. So
yeah, I didn't say pops. We got
to. He's very here. You know, it's not no subject is touchy enough to like walk away from or nothing like that. I was trying to get my shit back together.
What's your thoughts on it, in case you forgot the question about Oprah saying the new studies show that it's actually more black fathers present in their kids' life and actually present at home than any other race?
Well, I would like to thank social media. One thing me and Reese, I was mentioning to Reese about seeing more now, and she asked me a question about how do I feel about when I was 12 years old compared to how kids were now. Being exposed to a lot more is nice because we're able to show our own lives. We're able to paint our own narratives as opposed to someone painting it for us, relying on media stations and stuff to tell us what goes on. My dad wasn't necessarily, me and my dad weren't necessarily as close as I wanted, wanted things to be, but I understood the influence of my mom realistically, and parents being young, being 17, having a child, and pretty much having kids. So I was able to watch that, like kind of grow from, obviously them being my age at a certain point and them being closer to the age I am now and growing. So I was able to, watch that. Dads are definitely there. I don't never allow anyone to tell me that black parents aren't there. I've definitely seen plenty of black families my whole life that were the mom and dad in their family structure. So I always wonder, where does this whole, that wasn't my setup necessarily, but I've always had evidence of it. So I never went for the whole narrative that black dads aren't there. I know certain situations where it's still pretty there, but that's with every race. So it's a shame that I think it's a shame that we're highlighted the way that we are as black males. I think that black dads are definitely spoken about a little bit too much. If we're going to speak on them so much, let's speak on everything that they are. Let's not just speak on the negative and them not being there and them not being a part or whatever it may be. Them not being a part. Let's talk about what they are doing. So I'm glad that we have social media to show that does exist.
You got that in your morning show.
That's the truth. We do focus on our people, the negativity too much. We focus on everything that a person is not instead of focusing on everything that a person is. Kanye West said it best. Everything I'm not is everything I am. That I am. It was on his, I think that was a late registration CD. I used to play that thing all the. Yeah, I'm a Kanye West. So I like R. Kelly too. But yeah. And Marley, to piggyback on you not knowing who Wayne Gretzky was, I got a story similar to that. I was talking to a billionaire, that guy that owned Virgin Mobile, came up to me and Tyree, Richard Branson or something. We at the FHS festival, one of the festivals. Me and Tyree standing in line. We a couple of turds in the milk, if you know what I mean. But I love that music, and we at the festival. The man came up to me and Tyree, so hey, how you like the festival? You waiting in line? I was waiting in line for Weezer, for the pavilion to open up because I wanted to see Weezer. And he was like, you like it? He was like, what you think of it? And I'm like, why is this white man talking to me? I'm like, it's all right. You give it that. And then all of these people follow him. And he was like, I hope you come back next year and all this stuff. And I'm like, is he trying to pick me up? After he walked off, They said, do you know who that was? Nope. That was Richard Branson. This is his festival. He the owner of Virgin Mobile. He the owner of Virgin the airline. I was like this. They said he's a billionaire. Tyree said, Mom, we was talking to a billionaire. Why didn't you say something? I was like, because I was saying something. I didn't know who he was. You know, you just thinking like, why is this guy trying to pick me up? Everybody else is young, and he's a little older dude. I'm like, okay, old man like fat women. That's the truth. So I'm thinking like, wait a minute. I had my acid wash blue jeans on. They was fitting tight. You know, that's back when my stomach was a little flat. I was thick, like, you know, and I had my little Bruce Springsteen scarf in my back pocket. Said it with my shirt tucked in, y'all. Yes, I was giving up. Boom, in the U.S., you know. So, but I talked to a billionaire, Molly, and did not know who he was. And I'm pretty sure.
That's good, yeah. And I'm probably sure we all talked to a few billionaires we ain't know. You know, I know some rich people out here that can walk in the mall, go to movies, and you don't know nothing because they own stock in this and that and that. So
yeah, I would love to be rich and famous. I would love to be that invisible rich.
Well, Malik said something. He said, "Why do we fall at the feet of people who think we have money?"
Who we think have money? Why do we fall at the feet of people who we think have money? You know, somebody who think, you know, you think, yeah. I don't.
I get what you're saying. We fall at the feet of people who we think have money. Basically saying like he a billionaire, so you know, like she felt like she missed out.
No, I missed out on plugging my idea. That's what I missed out on talking about the business.
They want that money, you know. As I look at it, though, a lot of people in relationship with your money. You know, you rich, it's hard to tell who like you for you. You know, unless they was there before. So anybody come out, I know it got to be hard. You know, to actually trust these people because they're attracted to your money. They ain't really. I don't know though. I ain't there. You know.
Yeah, I know that. See, I am rich. I just got to go get the bag. I got to go get it. It's already promised and destined to me. I just got to travel the road to get it. Same with you, Molly. Same with you, Trey. We got everything we need. We are all we need. We just got to go and get it.
At least say he was going to steal your idea because you don't know anything about copyright notice.
Yeah, don't be telling these rich people that. Don't be giving no advice. What's that, Shark Tank? You ain't no Shark Tank where your ideas are protected.
She take her head off to her husband because he is a father to our children as well, my children's friend. They can come and talk to him about anything. You heard her say they can come and talk to him about anything. They ain't talking to Cassandra mean ass. They cussing her babies out.
Yeah, them parents can't be snapping at their kids and say, "Oh, it's all open."
Hey, man, I wouldn't mess with Sandra. No. Sandra like my mom. She don't be playing my father. He was laid back, cool. He ain't never whoop us or anything. He just like, man, come here, let me holler at you, man. Just chill. I'm like, oh, I like that.
But you a good daddy too. You use the same thing, that psychology, reverse psychology and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta use it.
Men are not. Women, we jump to conclusion. Every female should be 110 pounds because we jump quick. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. We are all over the place. A man is calmer. Their demeanor. Most men that I run across, their demeanor are, not unless you DJ Slicky Woo Boo and he always talking about kicking ass, whooping ass. But most men are calm in their demeanor. They sit back and listen. Hey, Sonny Chibbit. Hey, Chris.
I say, give me some of that bag when you get it. You must be talking to Reese.
Yeah, because I ain't say I had not one bag.
I just got to go get it. It's out there.
That part,
the world is mine. Wouldn't I say?
Whose world is this?
Billionaires never tell people how they get millions. It's a rule. That's what Malik said.
Yeah, because everybody will have it.
We handled and ask questions later, Reese. Yeah, that's true, Tom. We handled and ask questions later.
Yeah, but sometimes we be wrong. Sometimes we be wrong. I have gotten slapped for something I ain't even do, and I had slapped. I did some slapping for something that my child didn't do. You know, we jump too quick to jump to conclusions. or something. You know,
Shit,
we got to learn to relax a little bit and tell the truth. As I got older, and when I sit back and do this, or I'm looking up, I'm thinking, because the old me would have just been rah 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 reactionary Reese. It used to be reactionary Reese. Now you got reasonable Reese. You know, even within a couple of years ago, you know, I would go off certain little things would send me off. Now I think I'm getting older. I think I'm calmer.
Yeah, it takes time to get to certain points like that. To just say, let me think about it.
I think it's because it's arthritis. I can't jump like I used. Like what?
I'm gonna slow you down a little bit, make you think twice.
You know, now unless I get that adrenaline, got to get really, really pumping, then I forget that my back hurt. I forget I can't close these hands because miraculously they close, or I'm standing up like a bear. You know, I better be leaning all over. Oh, my back. Something pop off. You be like, what?
The Nation Brothers. Yeah. Kenny saying the unks of the community were the fathers who we sought out there for guidance, and the Nation Brothers.
The ones in the
Nation Brothers.
That's what normally happens.
He talking about the Nation of Islam?
Yeah.
Okay.
They recruited him young. They recruited Kenny when he was like 4 years old. That's why he's so sharp.
That's why he wearing the bow tie.
Yeah, he been doing that since he about 5. They used to call him Balls Baby. He used to wear That's my man Kenny. But now Kenny commented that because he was saying that he didn't actually grow up with a father because he lived in a foster kid. But I was like, don't they have foster parents? You know, because I know a lot of people who give thanks to their foster parents. A lot of them in the NFL and NBA. If it weren't for my foster parents and and then you got some people like Kenny, you know, they might have good foster parents. So it's like, fuck them. Where my real parents at, you know? So it's a sad
question, actually, for real. When you get done, Molly.
No, you good.
Okay. I want to know, because this is kind of how my setup is. A lot of my emotions and feelings were dismissed for what I have. I don't have a certain lifestyle, but it's like, oh, well, you know, you don't have, you see, you know, those people over there, you see your friends, or you don't have to deal with such and such and such they have to deal with, or you ain't got to blah, 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 blah. So how do y'all feel about like family members that use like possessions and items to dismiss like how things should be going? Like, if that makes sense, when things aren't structured, but you have families that use, you know, oh, you know, I just bought you this new shiny, whatever it is, you know, so you should be grateful. You should be happy because your friends don't have that, and your friends can't, you know, you don't see it. You see your friends walk around with that. How do I feel about people or families, whatever the situation is, that uses like possessions over emotion?
Well, that's because I'm a mom, and I used to, like I said, I got Tyree the video game. I got him everything that I didn't have, so he wouldn't have to struggle. And I found out that was the biggest mistake I could have ever done, because he needed to struggle. He needed some structure. He needed to do stuff. But by me always cushioning it, where every time he failed, he never felt that ouch, that bump, so he know not to do it no more. Every time he about to touch fire, I put my hand there. I'm the one to get burned instead of his ass getting burned. He needs to feel his own burn. He told me that one time. I said, Tyree, I'm trying to protect you from being scraped. He said, Mom, I want to get my own scrapes and bruises. He want to experience life for himself. So I didn't dismiss him no more, because I knew that his problems wasn't the same problems that I had at his age. And my problems, not the same problems that he had. I was giving him my cure. Your parents was probably giving you their cure because they probably didn't have that at your age. And they figured that if I give it to him now, that what I didn't have at my age, then he shouldn't feel a certain way, or because he got everything that he need. They thinking physically everything they need, but we need emotional. We got to grow our children emotional and mentally, and which a lot of times parents don't do. I was at work 12 hours a day, so I'm doing the doubles or whatever. And where was my son? With family members or grandma. If I felt bad, if I couldn't do something, I would give him a gift. But nothing beats me being there, and nothing beats me talking to him in that quality time. I see it now. I can tell you one thing, I'll be a much better grandmother than I was a mother, because I see the mistakes and I know what not to do again. And I know not to dismiss. Like with my nieces and stuff, that's why they call me the cool auntie, because you can talk to me now. Now I understand. But when I had minds of going through it, I didn't understand that. I didn't know he needed me. I just say, here's another game. Go play. Here's this. Go play. Dismissing his feelings and giving him a gadget. Go play. Not,
yeah.
Because
that was always used as a thing, like, you live nicely, or you live, you should be blessed and you're grateful, but it's like the emotional part was always like because you don't. I didn't even know what the hell I was supposed to be. I didn't know when you were a young kid, you don't know what the hell the hood might be, or this might be. You don't know whether you're struggling or not. You don't know. Pork and beans is a bad thing. You didn't know that. You don't know you're eating struggle meals or what they consider. I would fuck up some goddamn grilled cheese and pork and beans. I didn't know that certain things that you was, but so for my family to kind of try to separate a child's mind from what they don't want to deal with. A child don't know what they're supposed to deal with or strive for or want, or what type of lifestyle they're supposed to want. So what do you think about that, Molly? What do you think about
I mean, I had buddies, something similar, but I grew up, we ain't had much. We ain't have video games and all the shit, the new bikes. We ain't get shit for Christmas like that. If we did, it came from the church. So we was already accustomed to not having. And we never kid to have. We ain't know we was missing out. Like, we weren't one of them kids like, oh, we ain't get this. We didn't even know we supposed to have or even wanted to have it. We ain't have TV time. Like most kids watch TV, so they see commercials and they be like, oh shit, Mom, can I get that? We barely seen commercials, because we going out. My mother's like, go outside and play. We was more outside throwing rocks and being boys, so
we
didn't want our person. We waited.
I want to do something.
We come in late, we going to the house party. We was actually out here, being kids when that. So it was different. But I had friends who was like that, who parents bought them all in new Jordans. And me growing up, we thought that was cool. We had somebody in our crew, like my man be having all the Jordans, and it was times that his parents didn't give him the Jordans, he cried, and I used to hear his mother be like, nigga, look at your friends. They ain't got the Jordans. They not out here crying. They ain't got a new bike. This nigga had dirt bikes. He had everything he wanted. But it's the times when she told him no, he'd cry, and then she'd turn around and still give it to him. He wanted $100 to go to the candy lady.
Yeah,
like, we going to the candy lady, dog. But she would give it to him.
He's not buy candy for the whole block, as
but he would. That's the thing. He'd buy for everybody, but he ain't understand it. He doing it, but it coming from your mother. You ain't got the leeway to do these things. We want to go to the movies. He makes sure his mother will pay for everybody, and she would do it. And if she didn't, he would cry about it. And so it was just like, I understood, early, like, shit, I'm cool with whatever we got, I'm happy with just a basketball or whatnot. But these kids these days, they fall in love with that material shit, and it be their parents' fault. It be people that grew up around my age that didn't have, so now, like Reese said, she want her son to have everything she didn't have. Like, nah, I ain't care less about my daughter having something I didn't have. For one, shit, girl. Two, it's just like, you're a kid. Like, if you gonna fuck them shoes up, you gonna outgrow them. I done seen it. I used to have to get hand-me-downs, and I used to be looking like, oh yeah, he about to outgrow them joints. He only won them 3 times, so she ain't got to go through that. It's just her. So it's just like, shit, she already living a life compared to me. It was 8 of us. It's just one of her, and she ain't got to share with nobody. So I get where you're coming from, Trey, though, but it could mess a kid up as he get older. He think things supposed to be handed to him. He don't know how to work for nothing. Since we was young, we had to work for. We had to pump gas, curry bags from the grocery store for people, and that's how we got our change to go to the store. We couldn't go say, "Mom, can I get $1? Go to the store?" She look at us like, "Nigga, y'all better go pump some gas."
Get that money, get that dough shit, guys.
Like today, I'm a hustler. I gotta sell sea malls, edibles, whatever. It been installed in me since I've been young. I just do my best not to ever sell drugs again. I try not to say never, because you never know what's gonna happen. But I've been doing good. I've been doing good.
But hopefully, you're not thinking forward. You don't plan to. I feel you.
We got some comments too, man. They coming in here.
Comments jumping off. I can't keep up. I plug up my phone and keep it not.
We gonna get to these comments, but we already 10 minutes over. This leak, he said we turn our children on to material things early because we think that's the answer.
Yeah.
What is Tyree didn't know nothing about Nautica at 2 years. I'm sorry, at 2 years old. But that was my fault. I had him in the little Nautica shoe. I got pictures with him with his little Nautica outfit on. What is Nautica? I bought him some Jordan one time, one pair, one time, and you know he didn't even ask for it. I thought I was getting ahead of the game. I'm looking at what the other kids got. Here you got some Nike boots. My child didn't care about fashion. He would wear he liked the skateboard look, like the Pumas and the Skechers. He got some Jordan once, and he didn't care about it. He had new shoes that he gave his friend. I bought him some $295 New Balance. The number was $695. It was one of them 95. He gave them away. It's like he didn't appreciate. I was working hard to struggle, and I was giving. So he thought that all he had to do was ask. I need this. Let me go to my mother. He didn't see how well. He should have known how hard I was working and how hard it was come by. I felt guilty because I was working, and I felt guilty because he was the only child. I used to say he alone in this world. But instead of me preparing him for the world, I can admit my faults. I was wrong. Instead of me preparing my child properly, I didn't. So I had to wait till he become an adult. Now try to rewire what I messed up, what I wired wrong.
He grown now. He's grown now. He his own man. Ain't no rewind or anything. He got messed up.
Him and I are both 30, so
he's good.
I'm 29. He's 30. He's 30.
Never been to jail. Never got in trouble. But he's good on a lot of things.
Man, that's
smart.
perfect.
He's bright. You know, he's good on a lot, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful, and that's why I tell him when you stop. I get so worried at night by him being a black man because I know he's a target. And he's driving in that truck at night alone. He is the target for the police. He's the target for other people. That's why I said don't be going through the neighborhood bumping your music like you got woofers and all that stuff. People see that. They was like, damn, look at that ride. Damn, he bumping. I'm gonna be bumping his shit. Break yourself, fool. Give me that. And that's what they do. Don't be going around.
Break yourself.
What's her name with the bush?
Oh man, he grown, man. He grown. You know, that's the thing. You can't have him out here living in fear. You know, you don't want him living in fear, man. If something happen, it's supposed to happen, man. But it's scary, Reese. I guess as a parent, it's scary.
I live in fear for him, is what I'm saying.
As a parent, it's scary, but he not in the streets. You know, it ain't like he selling drugs and he on the block every day. Them the parents that should be worried. They be scared they might get that call, but you only want the nigga ride to the gas station because the police might kill him. You know, like
no. Rest in peace. One of my family members he used to hang with all the time. Used to go places and everything. He lost his life, and that could have easily been my son with them that night.
Nah, he don't hang with them niggas, man. He don't hang with them niggas. It could have though, but he don't hang with them.
He don't seem like the type to get wrapped up in all that stuff for real though. Like he don't seem like the type to
leave him alone. Leave Slack-Tie alone, man. Yeah, Slack-Tie seemed like a good kid to me. It's like he was raised well. I don't know what Reese talking about. She needed see his friends. Some of them gone because their parents weren't on them. You know, they wanted stand on them when they was young, because when they grown, they gonna do what they want to do. Tyree wasn't with them because he didn't want to be with them. You know, he didn't hang out with them. You know,
well, so right about that with that comment, though. He said he'll be hurt by someone who looks like him before the police will ever do it.
Yeah.
If he's a good person that you ain't centered around that type of energy, that's why I ain't tripping about that, because I know what I don't do. But and so with hit in Ty's place, like he's not surrounded by that type of stuff. He ain't gonna be with the dudes hanging outside of 7-Eleven and you know all night. He's not that type of person. So you know, you pray that nothing comes his way, but you ain't gotta worry about it. Him already having it in his environment though. It gotta come to him because of but not. You know, by default.
She did good. Nautica at 2, they ain't too bad. It's kids out here getting Balenciaga, you know. So Nautica was the thing back then. Today, this shit, Jordans is cheap today. Jordan is regular. So your kids went Jordan, they just he got Jordans on. No, you got
Jordan is like or whatever.
You gotta have these foreigner shoes on, like the actually these kids be fresher than everybody I know, you know. Like,
Everybody
shit.
I know, my people, grown folks with jobs, and y'all kids.
What? I be looking in
I
the
told
kids
my
section.
son, if he wanted to drink here, he could drink it here. Because I know they're going to drink. I said, when you want to get high, I said, get it, and we'll let my Aunt Ann roll it up for you. We'll get high here at home.
Yeah, I wish my mama said that.
I don't know how to do it. But my aunt said, you know, if you want to take a joint, Tyree, if you want to try it, my thing is, if you want to try it at home. Because I don't want you to try it in the street, because anything can happen out there. That's all I'm saying.
That part.
Come drink and get high over here. Now I'm gonna cook some chicken in the kitchen while I cut up the watermelon.
Man. Y'all excuse Reese Ray. Yeah, it was a good one today. Madness Monday.
And I wanted to shout out Nurse Week. Today is National Nurse Week. So to all the caregivers and the nurses, I got several nurses in my family. Nina Polly, Latoya Gray, Marjorie, Sally, all of y'all. Thank you for doing what you do on the front line.
Front line. Thank the nurses, y'all.
I got some more nurses. Margie down North Carolina. We're a medical family. That's because most of us are sick.
Most of y'all are sick. Y'all
Look, Jeff's wife is a nurse. Hey, Shannon. His wife is a nurse. We, most of us are sick.
Thank you for watching, y'all.
We'll
shout out to the sponsors. Thank you.
Father for life.
That same time tomorrow, what Rich Licky say? That's because you want some, Reese.
Because I want some what?
Still, thank you for what you do, cousin, right now. Oh man, she said thanks. Tree's got family too that's out there in the field. So that's what's up, man. We need more people like that. We need people that knowledge outside the field too, the ones at home, so we ain't gotta keep running to the hospital. I know them doctors don't send their people to the hospital. They be like, girl,
no, they don't. They got somebody across up the block across the way
they can handle that shit themselves. They doctors already.
That's me. I was a hood clinic, and I got so much stuff that I took from the hospital when I was in the hospital.
I ain't going to Reese. No, I do not go to Reese.
No, I'm sorry. I
want to know how it's regulated.
I fixed his ear. Who messed his ear? We'll talk about that after the show, man. That's y'all at 10:30. Y'all.